Chill.
Well, I'll tell you now, this is something I've been thinking of now. It's set up right after the overture, the way it's opening number.
Yeah.
The way it's written. Now, the thing is, you don't want to bombard too much music into a short period of time.
Right.
And I think that we're pushing it by putting a number right in at the beginning, as it is, instead of having dialogue, as usually done. So I think it would be better to, if we do that, just with melody music.
Well, I'll tell you, did you see Guys and Dolls? They start out with exactly this big production number. And then they go right into Fugue for Tin Horns. It wasn't a big song. It's not a song, it was a pantomime.
Yeah, well, see, this will be actually a number which will be describing the affair. And it's going to have, it'll be among the tasks.
Oh, is that what it's going to do?
Yeah. See, that was the purpose to get the whole thing fired off. Now, maybe this is something we have to discuss. Maybe it would be better to stick this someplace else.
Yeah, I was thinking, maybe set the mood of the 90s with the opening number and mention the fair as a refrain of some sort. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would maybe set the mood of the magazine with the opening number, with the ads and things like
well,
that.
This was a possibility, see, but another one, what it would be is we would know that this train station, this was special going after the fair at the opening. Of course, this is covered in the dialogue anyway.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But, you see, and this is what this is known for, this thing. And what it was supposed to be was all different,
Could you play it, and like we could have, a whole chorus line. I mean, Jim Barnhill just the other night gave some beautiful old ads from the radio, and I'd like to have, if we had anybody reading ads out loud, I'd like his voice on the phone, reading these crazy ads, and we, have a chorus line going.
actually it would be last.
It'll be down like that.
The act after the overture is over. Start like this.
Take a position with the ad. I don't know.
You see, I'll tell you, let me walk through this first and tell you what I have in mind. I'll make it it's, you go through this with this very slowly and to get through a couple of verses of this, and what we had in this Chicago World's Fair, there's something in it. And then have individual people who would be going, some of these very elegantly dressed people would be coming from this town on this special train, saying why they're going. Maybe one woman whose husband didn't want to go, dragging him along behind, and singing. Now this is what we'll sing. This is what will happen. Sort of setting up the stage for the fair we're going into, and back into another chorus, and then some short choreography routine, which he had pointed out. The scene would start with one of these, very 90s and very prim and proper. And then if you know MAME, it starts out very prim and proper, and it gets a little faster, it's into something like that, where they're getting a little wild and get a. So we get all the costumes and get the whole thing off. It would set the whole mood of the 90s because we get all the costumes, the full gowns, the luggage and people walking like this and the rinky-dink music and everything, you see. And that would all finish up and the conductor would yell. And they finish it by going on to the train or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. The conductor would yell and then we go on with the rest of the
But I'm thinking right now, this is good for the 90s, but if we're going to want anything with a magazine, if we don't indicate that at the very beginning, not only through sets, which I'm sure John will be able to do a good job, but through, the dialogue, through the music, and, in the songs, that this is a magazine if you want it to be a magazine. Because there's certainly not very many spots in the script where it indicates that.
Yeah, well now this is maybe something we should decide right at the outset.
Yeah, that's what I think that's a big part. You see, the title of the show is Good Times Illustrated Weekly, and supposedly this is, a magazine story.
Well, this is one other possibility that I had in mind. And that was, if you remember Clear Day, have you ever seen Clear Day? Well, what they do on this is the orchestra plays through the overture, and then midway through it, they have a chorus that either comes across the stage or down the aisles or something, and they start singing On a Clear Day. and they sort of fill in a little background for the show, and then the curtain goes up and you're into the play.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was thinking of was this idea that we had discussed briefly of this quartet moving across the stage, In fact, and the overture would be playing, and as they go across the stage, it would be very short, just at the tail end of the overture, the curtain would go up or something, and we would be into the act, you see. And that would, they would have the magazines, they would start talking, and the last thing that they would sing, maybe in barbershop, would be something about Good Times Illustrated Weekly. Here's an ad for the Chicago World's Fair. And that would put us right into that. See, that way we cover both things.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be a long musical bridge. It would be probably 8 minutes. I'd write a short overture. By the time you get through the overture, this brief choral interlude, and the number, it's going to be long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be too long, but the point is that we get everything in there right away.
That's good. That's very good. But we'd have to decide about that chorus coming back and forth through all the scenes, but how that's going to, inhibit or enhance the action.
Well, what do you think about that? Well,
Yeah,
I think yes,
right.
Yeah, it is tentative, but see, that will the first number will be contingent upon that, so we have to decide that before I can go on.
Yeah, well, does it necessarily... I like the idea of the quartet holding the magazines. I think that should come in there. And if we don't show them again, it's going to be weak. So they'd have to be on again.
You don't have to show them every scene, though.
But could we do this with slides, possibly? Slides of the ads of the time, while this overture is going?
Sure.
Just, those goofy ads.
Do you have ads like dropping in, maybe? A lot.
3 penny?
Get that balloon in.
We've got to fly a 10-man balloon. And our fly situation, Maybe we could, get Bill Supernaut's permission to redecorate and refurbish the movie screen, with a la the gold figurines of the vaudeville and the sun. Right, I'd like to do that with the whole proscenium. He said that's what he said. He said erect a false proscenium around the proscenium here. That's what he wants to do.
Good for this year. Does anyone want to make it?
Yeah, out here. Well, let's stop the tape recorder so you don't get this anyway. Above the, yeah. Okay.
If all those people up there knew what this is like, they'd all ride a ride. Get a real feel for travel. Now, where's your blanket?
I didn't bring one when I left home. Do I need it?
Well, how else are you going to keep the dirt out? That seems a little, I don't know. This is just the way I was reading it, but it seems a little, mean. Like I'm giving him crap or something. Like, whoa, how are you going to get the dirt out?
Okay, here's the problem. Okay. Why don't you come up here because we got the recorder going.
I have something before that explains what he means by that. What I had in mind.
Oh, I don't think it needs explanation. I think it's just the way he says it. I agree
think
with Tony.
if I said you need one to keep the dirt out, it would be
Instead
a
of
lot
how
better.
else are you going to keep
If you go,
Or
how else are you
don't
gonna-
you want to keep the dirt?
Even that, I think it's kind of it's not.
We could say
it's
it
a
with-
question that he can't answer. Just kind of. It seems to me like we're just saying, well,
Say it
moron.
with good humor.
You could say,
Yeah.
you could make it work. I hate to give you right.
Keep the dirt out, just sort of a little...
Like maybe
instructional tip.
Pettifog. Maybe we give Pettifog too much. Maybe he's been so wrapped in the hobos, like he thinks everybody knows.
That's what I had in mind.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's good.
Try that, and if that doesn't work, then we'll change it. Okay, but try it that way.
Okay.
I didn't bring one when I left home. Try that now.
I didn't bring one when I left home. Do I need it?
Well, how else are you going to keep the dirt out? No matter. Any true hobo will go a fellow for a blanket. Here, I'll buy you one. Could you see your way clear to a small loan? Only
Now,
for payday.
here's the thing. The reason these lines don't work right now is because you're playing it as though you don't know you have any money with you. You don't know whether or not you have any money.
Right,
with you.
yeah.
You know you don't. And so from I'll buy you one takes on a different color when you know you have no money. Okay.
Well, no matter. Any true hobo will go a fellow for a blanket. Here, I'll buy you one. Could you see your way clear to a small loan? Only until payday, of course.
I took all the money I'd saved.
Now, payday, what does that mean?
There isn't any payday for me, I know that.
So, make it clear.
I'll try to make him think that there is one, no? Or no?
No, I don't think you would. I don't think you're trying to con him.
Oh, I see. All right.
You know, I think, this is your little joke. Only till payday. You know, like
Oh, I see.
Wimpy, I'll gladly borrow
Sorry,
your
hamburger
today.
today.
Back Tuesday.
Only until payday, of course.
I took all the money I'd saved. Is 83 cents enough?
Is that all you've
Now,
got?
how much was
Yes,
83
sir.
cents worth in those days? I think you
A
could
little
have
more.
I think
You could buy a blanket, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. Sue, I think you're going to really have to, be a little more than a stage manager.
Research
Historian.
assistant.
I mean, really. Well, I'd like to do this as true to the time as possible. And that means both of us, all of us, as the Brown Burgers board, each of us should take one book that's down there from the library and just pick out pertinent facts. And, okay. Anybody, suppose John Nicholas Brown came or someone like that, who knew what was going on. Right. But, these are little things. These are little things.
And later on, he had set the weekly wage. That's what he was saying. And right after that, a pedophile said, how much is that in your mind? The dude said, such and so many francs. He'd say, the dude says, 2,000, and I think an arbitrary number, but that has to work.
Okay, now, the way we can get around this, so that this, if it's 23 cents, so that this doesn't jar, is at this opening thing with the ads. We say, an ice box at the, I think that's too expensive. It's $25. For an ice box, or whatever it is. And that, and if we get that into their heads, you see, this is something we've got to think about for the opening too. Setting the monetary, Okay, come on up when you got an idea up here.
You're picking.
Okay.
And that is that I want to do one number. I was supposed to, Alan's done that to get one newspaper for one day, a series for a week, if the weekly comes out, and call it a news feud, and put in, there are 6 or 7 singers, and each singer takes one item that's happened. Grover Cleveland, President Cleveland did this and such a day, and King so-and-so in England did this, and all these things, and each one goes through it alone and put it together in a consequential form.
Beautiful.
You see, and we have to do research for that.
Beautiful.
But that could be something.
Fantastic.
That would really put
Fantastic. Good.
Good idea.
Does any...
It's much better than any other paper.
Bill Marshall will be going home for Christmas and lives in Chicago. Or in the Chicago area. And if we give him some money, he can get some Xerox or something like that.
Yes,
Microfilm? I'm sure there's a way of reproducing it.
Yeah, we might get it on like an library.
To Brown, huh? Do this as soon as possible. Could we get Professor Jones also to take these books right now that we have and put them on reserve? As a professor, he can do this. And then we don't have to worry about anybody taking them out, and they'll always be there in the library. Okay? Fine. Okay, so is whatever 23
On
cents.
this one, I took all the, sort of a marathon, but I noticed that, just I've got, I don't really know why he did not go back to, I took it with me. I've got,
Now, did you actually save it? Yeah, this is another thing. How did you spend your money and where did you get it? And things like that. Money wasn't obviously not very readily there for you. So what would you want to say there?
The thing I'm objecting to is just that, I just, instead of saying I took it with me, it's I've got it with me. It's just something about I took.
I've got all the money I saved. I'd saved.
I don't know.
That sounds worse, so why don't we change save? I've got all the money I've saved, I've got with me now. Or something like that. Yeah, I think if we just interpolated the sentence, try it. How would you say that?
All the money I've saved, I've got with me now. Is 83 cents enough?
Is that all you got?
Yes, sir.
Well, call me pedophile.
No, yeah, right. That has to, the minute you hear 83 cents, you make your decision so that you don't have to decide to tell him to call, the pedophile, the sir, that grates on you. And that's why you call me pedophile.
Right away? I mean, the way I felt then was, you know, I was still thinking.
Right, but then it won't get, then it won't
Okay.
carry. That's weak. You see, because you see the problem the actor has
Yeah.
now. He has to decide away from the blanket and also decide to tell him to call him pedophile. Who? Uh-huh. Oh, and then you can, call him pedophile and then think about the blanket. Okay.
Is that all you got?
Yes, sir.
Call me pedophile. Here, take my blanket. I washed last week anyway. And then you had to take my skin off.
We cut that one, yeah.
Okay. I washed last week anyway. Well, you
Would
ready
you like
to go?
to say anything else in there?
Maybe.
Anything very funny?
If I can think of something funny. I think something belongs there, though.
Yeah, I think it does.
You
Could get a little chuckle.
Yeah. You get a
Watch
laugh.
last week anyway, and
Pass out.
or maybe the way you say I washed last week anyway. I mean, was it last week or last week?
I could give that only. I wash every 2 weeks whether I need it or not.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, you see, because that while the audience is groaning, you come in and fill with, well, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
And see, that bridges it. So we do need an audience groan.
Okay. Well, you ready to go?
Well, I suppose so.
Think of the fair, boy. The greatest collection of wallets the world has ever seen.
Well, this is a little awkward. You don't give Bill much of a chance here. Or pedophile much of a chance. Bill doesn't protest enough. Pedophile protests too much in these 2 lines. Well, I suppose so. Think of the fair, the greatest collection of wallets. Now, he isn't sure that this guy would want to pick wallets. A little. Okay. Well, if not, we can always go back and listen to the tape. But, right, okay, right, so then, just think that, I don't think, I think this might be an aside. He could say, the greatest collection of monumental structures the world has ever seen, and the greatest collection of wallets. Something like that.
Yeah.
In fact, right here, think of the fair, my boy. We could just start that music coming up and build to all aboard and swell. At that point, just bring the fair music in.
That is good. I want to make that one theme song.
Oh, it's lovely. Good. Sure. I love it. I do. I really do. It's great. Oh, and we could have all these people for the whole scene. All these people could be frozen. And as soon as he says, think of the fair, my boy. Yeah, right. Sure, good. Okay, good. Okay. See, that's good. Okay. What?
Think of the fair.
Okay.
I would say monumental structures for now.
Do you want to say a little more than I suppose so? I don't know. He says, well, are you ready to go?
Well, I don't know. I don't think he would say really much more. He's kind of a little bewildered and just kind of
Would
ready
he even
ready
say,
to...
I suppose so? Would pedophile ready?
Yeah,
I think
I like that one.
All right. Okay, fine. I'm just going to try and pick on every single line, just to make sure that it's correct. I'm going to drive everyone to the ground.
Well, I suppose so.
Think of the fair, my boy. The greatest collection of monumental structures the world has ever seen. Yeah, wallets. It's almost an obligation that we be there. You must want to go.
I want to go somewhere, anywhere. I guess Chicago's somewhere, all right. Let's go.
That's it. You're on your way already. Just squeeze in down here now.
Are you sure this is safe?
Safe? Boy, you insult me deeply. You're traveling with an expert. You don't think I'd have a cheap freight, do you?
All aboard!
No, sir. Pedivog always goes first class.
That's like my partner now. Carriage is waiting.
All aboard. All aboard.
That's another one.
Put on your sun.
Now, men, I know you're new to your jobs, but you've got a big responsibility to live up to. Now, the regulars have got to patrol the city, and that leaves it up to us to patrol this exposition. There'll be a lot of women and children here this summer, and we're going to make sure they're protected and show them a good time. Do you know what I mean? Now, I've been specially cautioned to be on the lookout for shady characters. We've got a lot of foreigners here, and just maybe some of them can't be trusted. Some of them are your socialists, maybe even anarchists. Just remember to keep everybody straight. And another thing, watch out for your hobos and your bums. They're sure to be coming looking for handouts, and we don't want their kind of riffraff dirtying up our fare. You know what I mean? All right, now, any questions? Go ahead, feel free to ask. I know all you men can benefit from my experience.
How can you tell these socialists from these hobos?
Socialists from the hobos?
Now, we have to give this to a young rookie.
Socialists from the hobos. Now, very sharp. You see, you come right in and da-da-da-da. Give that line. You see everything the socialists want. I see. Socialists from hobos.
Well, you see, everything the socialists want for free, the hobo gets for nothing.
Well, you can tell your hobos right off. They act strange and they dress funny, but they don't talk so good. And they've been known to pick a pocket or two. Any more questions? All right, let's go. Mingle in with the crowd, you know. We don't want to be too conspicuous. Afternoon, gentlemen. Oh, come on now. You needn't hide behind things like that.
Now, there's no reason why you needn't hide behind things like that. It's very awkward. The business is awkward. Right, but he didn't say that. Now, where are they hiding? Like behind a bush, is that it?
That's a big mistake. It's a running mistake that he makes about the whole thing. Because he doesn't really know what they're like. He's trying to...
Now, here, lads, is a fine example of shy foreigners at the fair. Look at them hiding behind the bush. They're frightened. We've got to put them at their ease. Now, afternoon, gentlemen. Oh, come on now. You needn't hide behind things like that. This is America. Oh, don't be afraid. Walk tall. This is the land of the free. But have a good time and be sure to tell all the folks back home.
Good. Great.
So he's got to give a little thing to the...
That's great.
You want... Okay, so O'Reilly's first speech has to be cut. It's too long, good things, but has to be cut. So, Pedopog, after...
And be sure to tell all the folks back home how beautiful America is.
Now there, my boy, goes a very strange policeman. I should think they'd all recognize me by now.
This could be O'Reilly's trademark. You know, America, the land of the free and the brave. Every time he comes on, he says something wonderful about America. You know, how patriotic... The flag waving Irish,
But fear of the anarchists, too, though.
Oh, and amazing, yeah. Fear of the anarchists. And the anarchists. We don't want another potato famine here in this country.
The Red Scare.
Okay.
Well, he's probably a country boy. We don't stop on farms much. We leave that up to the salesman.
Were all those things he said true?
Some of them, my boy, only some of them. You have to watch out for the boys.
Very weak.
I don't like that. Were all those things he said
True. Okay, what was wrong?
maybe?
I don't think Bill. I don't think.
Is all that true? You know, am I just sort of gesturing off to him? Is all that true? What was all that?
What was all that about?
All right. Yeah, that's better.
believable,
That's good.
you
Yeah.
What was all that about?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
What's all that about?
Okay, keep going. I mean, this is on tape. I just want to write as much.
Well, I guess it's some of them.
What was that all about?
How about just you have to watch out for the boys in blue. They get confused sometimes.
Yeah. What was all that about?
You have to watch out for the boys in blue. They get things confused, you know.
Good.
I'll say. He must have thought we were foreign visitors or something.
Yes, well, I have traveled all over, you know. Met all kinds of people. Some of it's bound to rub off, I guess.
Weak. We've already... The audience knows that the policeman made a mistake. You don't have to emphasize it by Bill. And all this for the one gag, which can be used later, is not necessary. So they get things confused, you know.
No, but then, well, we're here.
Right.
Well, we're here. What do you want to do first?
I'd sure like to go on the Ferris revolving wheel, the one that goes around in the circle. It's 250 feet high, and you can see the whole fair and all of Chicago from up
And
there.
naturally, you'd be much more excited because there's no such thing as a Ferris wheel. It's the Ferris revolving wheel. And,
I'd sure like to go on the Ferris revolving wheel, the one that goes around in a circle.
Right.
It's 250 feet high. You can see the whole fair and all of Chicago from up there.
250 feet, eh?
Now, you've never been more than 2 feet.
Yeah.
You see.
I've never been that far up. Always good solid earth between my toes, you know. Of course, when I was younger, Betty and I used to climb the water tower in St. Louis. You could see for miles.
Well, you know, now you see
Betty.
a little bit of the tenderness in your voice when Betty, so that he will
So
say
that I'll
Betty.
have something.
Oh, okay. Of course, when I was younger, Betty and I used to climb the water tower in St. Louis.
Right. Oh, so romantic.
You could see for miles.
Good.
Betty? Boxcar Betty Perdue. My long-lost love. Ah, there was a woman for you. No riding the rods for her. She always went in the cattle cars. Sweet child.
Cut this line and go to she used to, and she was a queen.
What was that? Oh, she was a queen, my boy. Last I saw her, she was hanging a freight for Salt Lake City to see Brigham Young. Now, there's a real man, she used to say. Yeah, right. I guess I couldn't keep up. Of course, that was 20 years ago. She must have slowed down some by now.
All right, now, boys, we'll split up. Every man for himself. Foggy!
Betty! Is it really you?
Who else, you shrivel up old?
Okay, it's really
Just
weird.
yeah,
about
that's
you,
really
Betty.
We were just talking about you 20 years and we get time to talk about it and then all of a sudden she shows up.
Poetic license.
Wow.
John O'Hara can do it.
Nobody else should.
How would you like her to get in?
We could cover it, if we want to play it corn, which is obviously is, then some kind of musical thing.
The Betty theme.
Right.
Well, how about him singing a song about it during the storm?
Very good. Could he do that? And then her join in on a duet.
And that's
The song could be a great
Yeah, that
description
would
of
be
this beautiful
nice.
girl,
Okay.
which you could be the
So
opposite.
it starts out a very beautiful, I loved her. He did not. That he doesn't hear.
Right.
Something
Betty's
like
sort of
that.
the Mae
I remember
West.
And then,
Well,
you hear her voice, and the whole thing, I think Peter's idea of a Sue-me type song was very good. To me, what can you do me? I love you.
You get about 15 songs right, Bill.
Yeah.
We're only the second
We'll
scene.
probably have to cut all of them. Okay, so that covers that entrance. So Betty comes in, a shriveled up old goat who looks like a butt. He looks like a pompous stuffed shirt rather than a shriveled up old goat. He doesn't look shriveled.
Okay, how about you, Pompous?
Who else is shrivel up old?
Now take a look at Tony and tell me what he looks like. and think of the most, nasty, charming thing you could say.
Overstuffed. Lopsided mustache.
Well, let's see.
She needs some grit.
Well, whatever. Who else? Something. The girl you left behind.
Oh, don't worry. I can take being stood up.
Well, my dear, you see, I had these pressing business commitments and they couldn't wait. But you weren't there when I got back.
Did you expect me to take that lying down?
You've taken everything else lying down, sweetheart.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So I think the word would be that you'd emphasize.
Did you expect me to take that lying down?
Yeah, what?
I mean, I don't know, but it seems that, right here.
Well, I can't see.
Like, if I haven't seen her...
Right where?
Right, my line
Yeah,
above.
you see, the
I
song's
had
gonna
these
cover
pressing
that.
business thing.
The song is going to cover that, hopefully.
Oh, I see.
In other words,
why
the
don't I
whole
try to
song will be,
explain it?
like you'll sing something. If I can just suggest right now.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, the song will be, protesting your love, how much you loved her, and what is that Marie Chevalier song?
I remember it well.
I remember it well. Oh yes, I remember it well. And we were there and he left me. And we danced all night. I waited for 4 hours. And, it'd be one of those. And then all of a sudden she comes in and confronts you with the facts.
Oh, yeah, right.
Then you've got a duet.
I see.
And then the duet blends into, but so what? Hi, how are you?
Oh,
So, after that whole thing, the embrace, and and then, after the song, Betty, is it really you?
Yeah, okay. Betty, is it really you?
Why, no.
If you say it like that, that would be the answer.
Yeah. Betty, is it really you? Betty! Damn it!
Weak line.
yeah,
Okay,
the girl
something
you
to that
left
effect.
behind. Oh, don't worry. I can take being stood up.
Now, you see, Pettifog has a lot of these things. The lines tell Pettifog what to do.
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell me I can't leave home means that you should have started something there.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry means that you should have said something there.
Uh-huh.
So just keep that in mind.
Okay, good.
You've got to be a step ahead of everyone else while you're reading through this thing. Okay. So take it back, and Betty's really...
Betty, oh, damn it.
What do you have to say? Why can't I just be
Betty! Yeah.
Yeah,
Who? Well, my dear.
yeah, just
Who
plain
else?
old Betty. Who else? Gee.
So who else? The girl you left behind. Oh, don't worry.
Well,
I can take things to that.
Well, my dear, you see, I had these pressing business commitments, and they couldn't wait. But you weren't there when I got back.
This is the only time he falters
Yeah.
in the whole play.
Yeah.
You know?
She has
She's
quite
the,
a hold over.
yeah, she really does.
Well, my dear, I had these pressing business commitments, and they couldn't wait. But you weren't there when I got back.
Did you expect me to take that lying down? Mm-hmm. I cleared out as soon as I was sure you were gone. Ah, but that was a long time ago, Foggy.
You know, a big slap on the back when you're not
I
going to
guess we were both a little hasty.
Yes, we were indeed. But it's been 20 years.
I think that's a little too much.
You want maybe 15?
10.
I mean, pedophile is probably maybe 50.
No, actually, I think it should be only a short period of time. I agree. About 5 years at the most.
Yeah, at the most.
Uh-huh.
For what reason?
Well, who the hell? You wouldn't even recognize her 20 years later. I mean, you know, people
And they
change.
had to have a few years
Yeah.
a number of years together to have the hold over.
They
Where
really
they go
loved
in and
each other.
out.
Of course
You
they
know, where they,
recognized each other.
like, say every 3 or 4 years, they
Like
drop
Ludlow
out
and
on
Gladys.
each other, you know.
Could be, could it?
Yeah, like.
Oh, it could be.
Ludlow
He says. Could he say? Yes, we were indeed, but it's been 20 years. 5.
Yes. Now that would be good, particularly for the one that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something like that, you know.
Yeah. I used the 20.
And then cover up. Oh, you look wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. See, I used it. Yeah. You look wonderful.
It was a cover up for the 20
Cover
years.
for
Yeah,
20 years,
right, right.
That'll still work, though.
Okay, so let's just for tentatively write in Betty. 5 years, you fat fool.
The bag.
My fat friend.
My cat. Okay, so take it.
Yes, we were indeed, but it's been 20 years.
5 years, you fat fool.
You look wonderful, my dear.
Okay.
I thought you must be dead.
Now, all sweetness.
Dead. Oh, no, Foggy. Old hobos never die, do they? They just rail away.
Yes, well.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, so, what have we here?
I don't think, I think just dead. Just leave that on. And, you know, Pedophile's got enough now. You know, he's back. He knows that she's back. And, dead, why are you? Yes, well, who have we here? You know? And, like, she's all ready to start. I mean, a lot more can be given to her character, but what she doesn't say.
Oh, in other words,
Why you?
cut the rail away.
Yes. You know, all you say, you know, like, I thought you must have been dead. Dead? Why you? You know, and just,
Yes,
you know,
well, yes.
you know, right, that's all.
What have we here?
And, you know,
Who
this
have
would
we
just be a grand gesture of shutting her up there. Okay.
Yes, well, who have we here?
Hard Rock Kid, remember me, Captain?
Hard Rock. I'm Crown Prince now, you know. Let's see.
Oh, sorry, Your Majesty.
Thank you. Oh, the Hard Rock Kid. I remember now Albuquerque.
Remember me, Buckshot Bobby?
Oh, yes, indeed. Melon Patch.
What the hell does that mean?
Come on, Foggy.
How did you get buckshot?
Oh,
I still don't get it.
Oh,
When kids used to steal milk
Melons.
from the melon
shot
They
packet.
get shot at with buckshot.
Shotgun. Too obscure.
Yeah, very obscure. Work on this.
Give another real name.
Yeah. Okay.
Last chance, Eddie.
Okay, but you know that's a very minor thing. You know? Okay, so that's nothing big. We don't have to worry about that now.
Go ahead.
well, come on, Foggy. Who's your friend?
Who? May I present Bill Weatherly? He left home, you know.
How do you do, kid?
As Betty says, there's Heather Pullman and Miss Agatha Pretty. Enter and walk across stage. Miss Pretty thinks Betty has directed her statement to her. So, would you read this in, Sue?
What?
Pretty? So, take it back. Who may I present Mr. Bill Weatherly?
Who? Oh, may I present Mr. Bill Weatherly?
You think she's singing to you?
He's left home, you know.
How do you do, kid?
Hussy, come along, Heather dear. This is no place for a lady.
Well, how do you do?
No, my dear, she's just not well informed.
I'd sure like to meet a girl like that.
Like that? Well, there's enough of that. Where?
No,
So enough
the
of you,
line is
Joe.
torn, but this is the
That
play,
way,
Tom. Did it feel bad any other way? And I realize, it sounds funny
No.
now, but it could play with Bill.
I'd sure like to meet a girl like that.
Right, okay, fine.
There's enough of that, like as it is.
Okay.
He's talking about Miss Pretty there.
Oh,
That's
I
still
see.
awkward, I think.
That like?
Like that? There's enough of that like.
Why?
Okay, reword it.
My
Don't
boy,
think what you're
without
thinking.
your wanting to meet one.
No. I meant the young lady.
Come on, let's take it back and work that line. I'd sure like to meet a girl like that.
Like
what
that?
would you say? Now, you think he's talking about pretty.
Yeah.
Like that? What would you say?
That's really crazy.
What's the matter, you crazy? That's all one word. What's the matter?
What's the matter?
Yes, right.
That's all one word. What's the matter, you crazy? Okay.
Like that. What's the matter, you crazy?
Now, I don't think you're refined enough to say young lady. I think, give him a little more earthiness from the farm. I meant the young one. I meant the
I
young
meant
lady.
the young one.
A young
I
one.
meant the young one.
Oh, yes, the young lady.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
that's good.
Yeah, okay.
I
Would you say
barely
young one? How would you? I just don't think young lady is right.
One would fit.
Yeah, the young
Young
one.
one.
I meant the young one.
Young one.
Oh, could you say I didn't mean the old bat?
No, that would be out.
Okay.
Poor
Okay.
pretty.
No. Okay. No, I meant the young one.
Young one. Oh, yeah, the young lady.
Right.
I barely noticed her. Pretty thing, wasn't she?
She was beautiful, but I'll never get to meet her.
Never get to her. That's no attitude for a young man to take. Now, when I was younger, I used to know a lot of young men like you.
Right, beautiful. Good.
They all knew young ladies like her. There's nothing at all stopping you from knowing her. Maybe you'd better get to know at least one other girl first, though. Then you'll be much better prepared.
That's a lead into the song.
Here I am.
I may be able to help you myself. First, you need a good suit of clothes. A man's appearance is of the utmost importance, of course. You need a suit like say, this gentleman. Oh, pardon me, sir.
Quite all right.
He takes his suit.
That'd be beautiful.
Let's see, now, $60, not bad.
$60? That's enough for two suits.
What is that?
Might be enough for 3 suits for all I know.
Wondering.
Three
$60,
suits.
all right.
That's enough for
No,
five
I was
suits.
wondering, do you know that song, I don't know which one it is. Maybe it's Pick a Pocket or Two in Oliver. Well, he picks the pocket like that,
Yeah.
where, Oliver teaches Oliver how to pick the pocket. But I was wondering if, during the song Opportunity, he couldn't be taking snatches of clothing from the crowd. Like reaching into a big mob. Reaching into a big mob and pulling out a jacket. And reaching in here, into this mob here. And finding, he definitely pull out a brassiere, go like this, and put it on.
Yes!
Yes, good.
Could he do that?
Put on the tie so it doesn't matter.
Oh, of course it then, Or something like that.
Yes.
And then it, put it back.
Terrific.
Great.
But just to, and then, this is more of the fair,
Sure.
Okay. Great. Okay. So, and then what you do in that case is you've got the suit of clothes. So that eliminates all that dog, and then you need some spending money. Oh, excuse me, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
So that gives him spending money, and that gives him clothes. So now they've got money and clothes.
How does Pettifog has to finagle a suit? See, that's
So I'll take half of this to buy myself a suit.
yeah, there's a whole page in there where he talks him into letting him have half of his money for his suit.
Oh. Okay, so let's keep that kind of going again. Well, let's get to it, okay? So, that's an idea and it's on tape, so we don't have to worry about losing it. Okay.
Where are we now?
So let's keep going. Oh, pardon me, sir.
Oh, pardon me, sir.
Quite all right.
Let's see. $60. Not bad.
$60? That's enough for 2 suits.
For 20 suits.
20 suits.
Because you would exaggerate in any case. You don't know how much $60 is.
20, yes. Well, now we have to get a job for you. That might be difficult. Of course, if someone were to recommend you, someone important or famous.
But you're Crown Prince. Will you do it?
Me? Why, yes, I could have passed. I'm all right. Oh, but wait, no, I'm afraid I can't help you.
Can't. Why not?
Well, you see,
Yeah,
actually...
you see, now Bill is all dressed in this suit. And, you know, he's in the rags. Okay.
When is he dressed?
Well, you see, actually, I'm a little ashamed of the way I look. You know...
Well, he would have the jacket on and the pants over the one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, you see, actually, I'm a little ashamed of the way I look. You know, the dust of the road, and without a blanket, it's not proper.
Well, why don't you take the money and buy us both a suit?
Why, yes, indeed. Why don't I? That's a fine idea, my boy.
What's happened to
And
that?
then when the guy comes in with picking the pocket, we also have him followed by a guy without a jacket, a guy without a vest, and a guy in his drawers running in. That's the man. That's the man. No.
Oh, yeah, you mean later on?
And you know, at the end of the play.
Yeah, I see.
It's enough, you know.
You can have 100 people on stage at the end. That's
Just
fine.
pointing to him, you know.
Sure.
May I ask the question? Meanwhile, while all this is going on, what has happened to Betty?
He just sort of...
And Heather and Pretty have gone off.
Oh,
I
yeah,
assume?
Yeah, they just made a cross.
Well, what about Betty and her?
Well, let's see. You bet your sweet ass you will. She says something here.
Yeah,
So, okay, so why don't we take it back to, oh, pardon me, sir. Why don't you make comments as you will, Betty, okay? Oh, pardon me, sir. So why don't you, can't you still handy with that, you haven't lost your touch or something like
Yeah,
that, you know?
right.
Okay.
Oh, pardon me, sir.
Quite all right.
Why, Foggy, haven't lost your touch.
Yes, well, let's see. $60. That's not bad.
$60? That's enough for 30 suits.
30. Yes. Well, now we have to get a job for you. Now, that might be difficult. Of course, if someone were to recommend you, someone important or famous.
But you're Crown Prince. Will you do it?
Me?
No, just a big ha. No, she's not subtle at all. No, she's not Mae West. You know, she's Ethel Merman. She's Ethel Merman. She's anyway. You know, sorry.
Oh, what's the new drum?
Okay, right, okay.
I only need one to write songs with.
Okay, good.
But you're Crown Prince. Will you do it?
Me? Why, yes, I could at that. Oh, but wait, no. I'm afraid I can't help you.
But why not?
Well, you see, actually, I'm a little ashamed of the way I look. You know, the dust of the road and without a blanket.
And you see,
it's
Betty
not-
could be doing a
Right,
lot
right,
here without words.
right.
You know,
Since when did this bother you?
Right.
It's not proper.
Well, why don't you take the money and buy us both a suit?
Why, yes, indeed. Why don't I? That's a fine idea.
And
my
buy
boy.
Did you
yourself
ever
a suit.
think
Yeah,
of
right,
it?
if you chance. Good.
Buy
fine.
yourself a suit.
Oh, yes, indeed. Why don't I? That's a fine idea, my boy. You'll go far in the business world. Well, we better be off. I shall be seeing you, my dear.
You bet your sweet ass you will. You're not gonna shake me.
Not so
shell me?
subtle.
You bet your sweet ass you will.
That's
You're not
it.
gonna shake me so easy this time.
That's it.
Go on and get your new suit, Foggy. And don't worry, I'll find you. I never forget an honest face. Good luck, kid. If you need any help, I'll do what I can. Come on, boys, let's look around.
Just for the purposes of having girls, I think she would have a gang of hobo group. And that would eliminate the problem of having her gang of hobos, his gang of hobos, and the policemen and the strikers.
Right.
4 groups
Good
of men.
idea.
This way we've got 3 groups of men. and
Hobo
1 group
girls
of
would be
women.
more interesting.
Of course, I can see what's going to happen. We're going to have a group of hobo girls, and then, of course, they're going to have to sing a song, which means I'm going to have to write something.
The hobo girls.
Hobo-hemia.
Yes, right. Yeah, that's good. Then when he introduces, instead of having those 2 people, we can have 2 girls.
Hobohemia is not a bad name for a song.
They could do a belly dance.
It is?
Or hobohemia is
Yeah, how about hobo girls doing a belly dance?
intro to the...
Can't you see Pembroke is doing the belly dance?
Lady is a Tramp would be a bad
I can't see Pembroker's dressed up as a hobo.
Nice guy.
Still a word.
What's the matter with hobo?
No. What,
It
you
was
can't
in
curse?
those books
Fuck.
that we read.
That's on tape too. Haha. Yes, sir, not bad at all. Scene 3. The captive balloon. I like that. Captive balloon. Rather than balloon exhibit.
Okay.
And I think references should be to the captive balloon rather than the green exhibits.
Okay.
Okay?
Fine.
Just like Ferris revolving wheel.
Good.
Yes, sir, not bad at all. I find myself completely and pleasantly indebted to
Now
you.
here's a place where you could cover with the music. You see, this is where a nice crossover with the quartet would work while they're changing clothes. So he has to have the clothes changed, and they're back in almost the same place.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a song spot, it's a production number spot, or it's a quartet spot.
It's a hell of a scene
You know?
change.
And that's one hell of a scene change.
It's going to be a big, complicated scene change here.
No, all let's do is lower the balloon and pull back one of the flats. That's going to be a.
I could put my newest fugue in there.
No, that should come around. Really, right. I think that. I thought the news
That'll
fugue would.
set the-
Yeah,
set
the news
the-
fugue would set the tone. In the news fugue, we can incorporate prices, stock market.
Yeah.
You know, Grover
Stock market
Cleveland.
should be in there too, because it runs in later, because they've had a big slump.
Well, where? It can't come in the first scene. Not if we've got the...
Could the news fugue be the opening thing, like you were talking about? Remember with the 4 Men in the magazine?
I would think it would be better, musically speaking, not to do that.
Okay.
Because that's a really stylized specialty number. And normally you're better off to stick those later in the show.
Okay, how about opening of Act 2?
That would be nice.
That would be all right.
Open Act 2 with the news fugue. Curtain goes up and they're singing. You know? Just to bring back the magazine thing.
Yeah.
In other words, bring the first, use the theme, the melody for the news fugue is the same melody that these 4 people sing for a brief, whatever it is, at the opening of the play. And then just expand on it at the opening of the second.
Yeah, like the people could be, doing it in front, and then they walk off the stage, and then behind them on a bench is that Sleeping Hollow.
Right. Okay. Yes, sir, not bad at all.
Yes, sir, not bad at all. I find myself completely and pleasantly indebted to your ingenuity, son. Best suit I've had since the great conflagration of 1871.
The great what?
Fireboy, the Chicago Fire.
Now, see, this is all cute, but it might be cut. Okay, so just,
My regular haberdasher was forced to sell considerably below cost. You should have seen the damage, all those suits lying out there in the street. Of course, I lost it soon afterward when we ran out of bandages for the injured.
What did he lose?
The Duke.
the Duke.
What did he lose there?
Suit. Oh, that's not too clear, though.
Monsieur, will the gentleman be interested in an ascension in the captive balloon of the French exhibit? It affords a view of the entire exposition, in addition to an experience, that perhaps even a gentleman of your station have not yet met with. Or am I perhaps mistaken?
What? I don't believe I heard you right. You want us to get up in that thing and go up off the ground?
Quite correct, monsieur. Just think of it. Ever since Napoleon was imprisoned on Elba, men have wanted to fly. And now at last, with the illustrious achievements of my compatriots, the brothers
See, Mason, the
Montgolfier...
purpose of this, no, not just to read it, but to see if you can read it very impassioned.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, a lot of ohs and things like that, you know?
Quite correct, monsieur. Just think of it. Ever since Napoleon was imprisoned on Elba, men have wanted to fly. And now, at last, with the illustrious achievements of my compatriots, the brothers Montgolfier, we have fulfilled this noble desire.
Does it go as high as the Ferris revolving wheel?
Indeed. And with a protective line not there, it would go higher still, monsieur. It would be capable of a journey across the whole of America. Will you take part in this adventure? The cost is a mere pittance, certainly to men like yourselves.
Yes, indeed. Well, I'm afraid we must decline. I have a rare disease which causes the blood to rush uncomfortably to my head. But I'm away from the soil.
That's a very WCD. I'm red disease.
Yeah.
The blood rush uncomfortable in my hand.
I'm away from the soil.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can understand such a delicate
Now,
condition.
Tony, here's what we'd have to do with Pedophone. He would have several stock voices.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And when he's talking to the Duke, it might be the...
Yeah, show some of the...
Yeah.
What? I never did.
All right, now, here's the thing.
Oh, these have to be changed. They're not French.
I know.
I think we're going to have to cut a lot of this. There's an awful lot of this.
That's too bad. It's a running line.
Oh, no, not this. This we keep.
Okay,
But
what?
this whole business about his being stuck here in America. I'm afraid.
Okay,
Because
as long as there's enough to delineate his character and how much he dislikes, how much he likes nobility and monarchy, and how much he dislikes.
I'll give you a book. It's down on the board. And it's called Frenchmen in America, written in the 1890s. By a Frenchman. Great. And so let's not do this. Just look at get as much of that as you want. I think I'm cutting it. You see, No, we're just gonna keep going.
Yeah, no, I just wondered.
Okay, this is at school.
On cutting that,
No, you see, we keep the essentials in. Now, what essentials do we need? What happens?
yeah, that's what I was just wondering.
We get his titles. We need his
Yeah.
titles. I would be glad to help you with the exhibit. That will leave you time. You know, just, very shortly say that here I am stuck in America, and all you horrible people, I just wish I had time to see the fair. Pardon me, Duke, but may I make a suggestion? I'd be glad to help you with the exhibit. That'll leave you time. You offer your services. How good of you to do so. I accept. That's all you need. I accept. I am prepared to give $10 for every week that Monsieur de Weatherly remains in my service. How much is that in your money? 2,000 francs. We'll take it. I like the idea about the invaluable help to an underground movement in your country. If we can keep it in, fine. We'll do it. But yeah, in fact, do keep that in. And the map for the underground Paris, the sewers of Paris.
That's
it's
good.
beautiful. It's beautiful. It really is. Keep that in.
Good, no music in that scene. It's one first scene.
Okay. Now you realize, we'll keep this copy of the script in case, that it turns out that we can use can build it. But
Build what?
That scene.
we can build the scene once we cut it, but it's much harder to cut. I'd rather you cut now.
Yeah.
We can always build it. Okay. At the home of George W. Pullman, president of the Pullman Palace Park. Private contractor, Wicks and his cronies at present. Pullman in his way. All right.
This was also something that we had to kind of
This.
take care
You've
of.
got to write
Oh,
his
don't worry. This is
crony
going to be
into it.
rewritten the way the one in the second act is.
All right, let's just skip
Then we'll
that.
skip this whole scene.
Yeah. Because I know what I have to do there.
Right. And what doesn't have to be in is all this stuff about the stocks and stuff like that. Let's go to the Heather, Mr. Pullman scene in that scene. So, page 19.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll read it, Mr. Pullman.
Hello, Daddy.
Where?
Is there something wrong in the middle of the page?
Wrong, no, dear. Just a few business matters to clear up. Was that Miss Pretty again?
Again? Why, yes, Daddy, it was. She's chaperoning me at the fair.
Oh, yes, I remember. Why didn't you go with a girlfriend this time? A young girl shouldn't have to go around with an old maid like that. Agatha Pretty. Why, she must have been an old maid when she was your age. Even her name is old.
Bye.
Goodbye and thank you. Thank you very much. Really. We got a lot. Got a lot done. What time is it now? 12:30. I think that's enough for us.
Well, how close are we to the act?
Yeah, we're almost through.
Yeah, let's finish this act so he has a whole act.
the last scene?
That's right. No, there's just one more scene
Hey,
after
Tom.
this.
Why don't we do that?
We did.
There's only one more
Skip
scene.
this part and go to the
Skip this
last
part and go to the
scene.
last scene.
Good last scene?
One more scene.
The scene. Oh boy, that's the scene.
Right.
We don't need to do that either. You know what has to be done.
That's right, we've already
Those
done
are
it.
tryouts.
Oh, we never tried it.
We never tried
tried
Okay, let's
fixing it up.
do it.
That scene has to be fixed up. Oh boy.
This is
I don't think sitting around. I think we just need more people or less people.
What is this, in the last scene?
No.
Oh, that's scene 5. Yeah, well,
Have you thought about that at all?
well, I got to begin in a whole different way.
So tell us the situation. We might be able to improvise right now.
That's it. I'm not sure. Originally, this opens with, you want less people, I think? Or,
Well, keep going. Tell me what you have.
okay, I think it starts out with a dance number. I believe I have it written down there. Now, Bill, is this balanced correctly for? Is it about time the dance number in it? I think that's what it was originally.
Yeah. Now we have the choreography coming in the first number. Now how many choreographed numbers do we want in this?
Well, every production number will be recorded.
Very few.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what I say. A minimum, maximum 4.
I would say 4 is good.
Right.
2 per act.
2 and a half.
Yeah, well, this
All right, so this would be about it.
Yeah.
Good. Now, after that,
The other one being the tapestry original.
Right.
And the finale.
yeah, and the riot is got
The riots.
The riots,
That's
yeah,
going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
A big thing.
But that'll be less dancing and more
more
staging.
Yeah.
and movement.
Stu?
You got a haircut.
How's it going over there?
We're just starting now.
Okay.
You guys are anxious. Clearly, we have no time to be in there.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't arranged.
know, perfect way.
What is this? What is this, Tom?
If this is a good place for a dance number, this is also a good place to take advantage
Well, let's talk about this later, as long as we've got the guys here. Oh, yeah, we have to talk about what it's going to be.
of all the things that are going on at the fair. Now, the important thing is that these four have to get together somehow.
Right.
And so it's a good place for a showcase of what was
Okay.
happening.
So what's happening at the fair should happen here, or what's happening at the fair should happen right before Sergeant O'Reilly's speech? Now I know there's an opening number.
I mean one specific.
Well, now wait a minute.
characteristic
Could we do a reprise on that opening
like
number?
a specific
All of
dance.
these
Little
people-
Egypt? Could Little Egypt be here?
Right.
Wait a minute. Could we do a reprise on the opening number? Only this time it's all the people who were leaving are now there, have seen these things, and now are looking back in the perspective of having seen them
for the first time.
You think so?
Yeah, because we're asked to remember that the lady in the purple brocade is the one that's leading her husband around.
No, I don't necessarily mean that.
No, it won't hold stage.
What I mean is, well, all right, forget that, but still could we use a reprise of that number?
Of what? Yeah.
And then put some additional bits into it, like Little Egypt and some of these other things.
But I was thinking more.
Because I don't want to write two songs about the same thing. And this is what
Have you written Little Egypt at all? Anyplace?
No.
No, but see, this is it. I figure there are all sorts of resources that should be should be used.
Here, are you familiar with Little Mary Sunshine, the play?
Yes.
Do you know the number Mata Hari? This could be that kind of a number, where all the women, see all the men ogling, Little Egypt, and all the women get together, the fat, the short, and the tall, and start to do Little Egypt thing. Try it. Might be very comical.
Yeah, I think that's good, but I think that it would have to be encompassed by something else.
You do?
Yeah, I think it would have to be a bit within a number.
Okay, that's something we'll talk about.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
That's something.
But I
keep
don't
in
know.
mind. I'm not sure. I'm just doing that.
Shall we read?
Yeah, okay, let's read the scene.
Which scene is this now?
This is the
Five.
one.
Okay.
Cut the first two lines.
You already did this stuff.
Right,
but
do you not want us
Do
to do
you
it?
want us to see how it might work better?
If you think it can work better, yes, but I'm planning on, going.
Well, you have something planned. That's what I meant. We'll only read it if you don't have anything planned.
Well, you
at all
see,
and want some
what I
ideas.
have planned is to do it differently, but I don't have anything specific. So I guess you better go first.
Let's just try it. Let's see if we can get something.
Okay, good.
Okay, yeah, I'm reading here. You got that? Okay, fine. Okay, so it starts out, well, we are indeed sorry that we were in there.
Well, we are indeed sorry we ran into you, gentlemen. Oh dear, I mean that.
She means we were delighted with her.
Yes, I mean that we were delighted. Oh dear.
The pleasure was completely ours, I assure you. May I present myself, Mr. Horatio Pettiford, and my nephew, William Weatherly, Miss
Heather Coolman and my chaperone, Miss Agatha Pretty.
Agatha Pretty. Lovely old name.
Well, thank you, Mr. Pettifog. I'm flattered.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Coleman.
Fine, Mr. Weatherly, I believe you are.
Would you by any chance be related
Okay,
to...
here's where it goes off. Here it goes right off. Boom. We know that she's related to George Clooney.
Yeah.
This whole big speech of pedophiles can be cut down because there's no relevance to the speech. To the scene. The important thing is for pedophile to get Pretty off the stage and leave Bill and Heather alone. Right? And then we hear a slap and a screech near the end of the screen, the end of the scene. Pretty comes on and drags him off.
Drags who off?
You off.
Him.
But I think, if you leave the two alone for a while,
That you can
give
them more.
Yeah, you can give them more.
Right.
So we won't even do any more. We won't read any more.
Okay,
But
fine.
there's
That
the
gives me
point.
something more specific.
Okay.
Great, that's what I need.
Okay.
Okay.
Now let's go to the last scene. No, there's one more scene.
No, that's not the last scene.
There are 8 scenes in the first act.
Oh, here.
Well, let's not do the Betty Duke scene.
How about the very last scene?
How about the very last scene? I'll read Bill.
Yeah, go ahead.
So long.
Bill.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks.
They're moving stuff. Don't touch. You want your head.
Hey,
They're moving stuff in. That's just what I said. Why are they
well,
Okay, do the love scene.
Well, here's what I'm thinking right now. It's enough today. I really think it's enough.
okay.
We got some good work.
You have
over an hour's work.
Do you have any
statements on the scenes that we didn't go through, like particularly the last one. How do you think that goes?
Let me read it again before I make anything. Just, you've got enough to work on now, I think, at least till tomorrow. And,
Yeah.
See how much you can get done by noontime Monday meeting. Okay.
Holy Moses.
May I keep this?
That's
Or do
almost
you need this?
impossible. I need it.
I said to see how much you can get done. Do you need the second act?
Well, I don't really know I'm going to be able to do anything this weekend because I've got like.
Oh, then let me keep this weekend.
If you want to, okay.
Okay, because I'll go
'Cause I
through
can
and
write
make
notes.
notes. I will. Okay.
Okay, please do make that.
Right.
What is it?